Hey everybody, Crazy T the Movie Guy here again, and today I'm talking about my favorite trilogy. I actually also heard that they're making a new Blade movie, a reboot, but the first three are my all-time favorites. Especially here, the first, I have them all, especially the first one, Blade, Wesley Snipes. This one, he has this big war battle scene with all the vampires in a club, and then this woman gets bitten by a vampire at the hospital because they think he's dead because Blade burned him, and and then he comes back. Then Blade's like, "I'm back to finish you off," and but then this woman gets bit, and he tries to save her from turning into a vampire. And then he fights. I forget his name now. Frost. He battles Frost, and there's this big sword scene at the end between Frost and Blade, and he still fights his way through the caves and stuff. Anyway, Blade 1 is one of the best movies ever. And then there's Blade 2. Blade 2, which is really, really good. In this one, they find a new case of, it's not a vampire, but he's some kind of new creature thing that eats vampires. So then all the other vampires team up with Blade to defeat the head guy that eats vampires and stuff. And even at the end, he's like, "Do you blush?" when that guy, and then there's this other guy. He's on The Walking Dead, but he was on here. He played the helper of Blade, who in the end we find out he was with the vampires all along because the vampires, because the vampires, and they think Whistler's dead. That's the thing. Whistler is the one who handles Blade's like machinery, like guns and stuff like that. And in this one, he also joins after they betray him. There's even this cool part where he's like, "You don't know who you are fucking with," and then he throws the light beam, and then he throws the light beam that turns most of the things into dust, because that's a lot what happens when Blade gets you with a sword. If you're a vampire, you turn into a vampire. But I love the battle scene at the end, the big fight scene, which is also very, very good. And now I'm going to review the third installment of the Blade trilogy, which is Blade Trinity. Now in this one, Triple H is also in this one. And in this one, they find a guy who is like Dracula, and what's his name from Deadpool is on here. They try to battle the guy they think is Dracula and man, my mind is blank right now. Uh, anyway, the big fight scene at the end is really good, and Triple H is in this movie. Triple H is in this movie, and he has a big battle scene with what's his name? Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is in this, and he's an awesome action hero in this movie. Anyway, that's my Blade movies. I'm a big fan of the Blade trilogy, and I'll see you in the future.